Wesley Fofana has suffered a gruesome leg injury today. It appears to be a broken leg, and it now exposes the fact that Leicester have very little depth at center back. And with their young French star center back gone, they are going to be exposed at the back for the rest of the season and are going to be desperate to look for an option to improve some depth or replace him for this upcoming season. Their current center backs on the roster are Soyuncu, Johnny Evans, and Benkovic, and that's it. They have three of them. They don't have any more than that. This is a team that has played a back three a little bit last year. They can play a back four, but they're definitely going to be playing a back four now, and even still, they're going to be looking for some more center backs to add to this team. And so I'll pass it off to Lane here to give his thoughts on the impact of the Wesley Fofana injury for Leicester.
Yeah, well, like you said, this is a team that definitely usually runs a complete back three. They can play the back four, but Brendan Rodgers loves to play that back three with Soyuncu, Fofana, and Johnny Evans. He featured in it quite a bit last year, and you could really tell that was his favorite formation, playing Wesley Fofana out wide with his pace. Obviously, Castagna can play back in that back three. He did it last year for them quite a bit when he was needed, but that is a very if he's needed situation. He's not the strongest, obviously, at center back, but you said only now three center backs on the roster. Benkovic, obviously not a favorite in their really roster, but they could switch to a back four, which would I'd like to see them do. But after bringing in depth in the likes of defensive midfield of Bubakari Samare, bringing in Pats and Daka to back up their strikers, they're obviously going to have to go with a front two now, having three unreal strikers up top. So that's going to mean you're going to have to go with a front two in either a diamond or a 4-4-2 formation, or switch to five in the back, which is going to be still very interesting because you don't have three solid center backs. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Brendan Rodgers now does with it, what his star center back and the young French talent going out with a broken leg.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you mentioned, like Castagne's played a little bit back there, but he's definitely not someone you'd want to say who's going to be starting at center back for you. You can put him back there for a little bit if you need, but you wouldn't want him to be a regular. Indeed, he has seen some time at center back, and now that they brought in Sumare, maybe they will try that. But Sumare being able to take up a bit of a bigger role in the midfield alongside Yuri Tielemans, and maybe that can be something that works for them, and that's how they feel their best defense can be acquired. But that still then leaves a very new and inexperienced Sumare, who does not have any Premier League experience, coming in and serving the big role and serving that DM role that Ndidi has had. So there's a lot of question marks that now this injury brings up. Center back depth, center back quality, where some of the players in this team might fall, and what formation will now suit best for them. But if you were Leicester, who would you think they should be looking at to bring in as a center back to replace Wesley Fofana and get some cover for this season?
Well, there are three names out there on the market I'd be looking at currently. You have Schalke, who are now in the position where they're going to have to release the likes of Ozan Kabak, their star center back, the Turkish international. There was rumors about a week ago of Leicester being interested in Ozan Kabak. So I find that very interesting in a rumor. I wouldn't be surprised if it started swirling up again because he will have to be released and the contract will be terminated with Schalke because they cannot afford his wages. Two other center backs who I find are very interesting for a Leicester move. James Tarkowski, who was talked about quite a bit earlier in the summer, which then rumors died down quite a bit. I could see that happening, but I feel like it's too late in the summer now for Burnley to give up their skipper and their star player who will really need to carry Burnley this summer. So that one's a big if for me. Ozan Kabak can really see happening. And one more is Mason Holgate from Everton. He is being rumored to leave and being on the shopping list because they're trying to find a move for many players, Everton, which they need some money to get in to bring in some players. Mason Holgate, James Tarkowski, and Ozan Kabak are all very, very possible options I could see Leicester looking at.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely some options they could look at. It's really going to depend on how much money they're willing to spend, whether they want to commit to bringing in another starter, or if they want to go with someone cheaper like Kabak to add a bit more depth. It's someone that can be happy as a bit of a lesser role moving forward in the next couple of years when Fofana is back from injury, or if they want to go big, try and go in for someone like Tarkowski if they can manage to pry him away from Burnley this late in the window, which is probably unlikely, or of course someone like Mason Holgate. They have some options. It's really just going to depend how much they're willing to spend. But there's definitely some decisions for Leicester to make in the next couple of weeks as they need to fill some holes at center back. A center back spot that was already devoid of depth for Leicester relative to the rest of the roster. And now, with arguably their best center back out for the season, they definitely have some decisions to make and some holes to fill. That being said, let us know down in the comment section down below. But you guys think about the injury of Wesley Fofana for Leicester, what they could potentially do in the window to try and fill the void, and how you think Leicester will fare with this injury this season. If you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want our thoughts on some Premier League transfers that have happened this summer, then be sure to click the box on the right-hand side. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.